Hello, shareholders. Thank you for joining us today. I see the number of attendees keeps climbing as we start here at noon, and I hope more join throughout our session. I'm really excited today to kick off the Shareholder Opportunities virtual sessions. This is the first of two that our shareholder development team have planned. And my excitement comes from the fact that the timing of this ties to when our students, our young adults, and our adult learners are all thinking about and planning out their own educational and career goals for the year. And as you're setting those goals and you're thinking about the programs and the support that could help you achieve those goals, we want to make sure you're not missing out on any of the programs from Sealaska and our partners. I want to say that shareholder development has been a top shareholder priority through the history of Sealaska. Educational scholarships, workforce development, youth programs, and leadership development have all been top 5 shareholder benefit priorities through decades of shareholder surveys. Because of that, we have long-standing programs that have benefited shareholders for over a generation. I myself am a scholarship recipient, and I went through our intern program for 2 years. And those are 2 of our most successful development programs. Both of these programs look to help shareholders achieve their educational and career goals. But we want to highlight throughout this session that there are many other programs. And I'm grateful that we have individuals today that will talk to you about how they have been growing and improving the programs that you have access to. And it's all encapsulated in this concept of shareholder opportunity. Not only do we have an internal team working to support our shareholders, we also work closely with many outside entities, tribes, partners, search, school districts, SHI, which has many additional educational programs. And we'll continue to highlight the opportunities, not only from Sealaska, but the partners that we work with. Today, you will hear from a motivated team of individuals led by Tesla Cox that are excited to grow positive development programs that lead to shareholder success. We're going to start off the program with a video from SHI. Again, one of our longest standing programs, our Sealaska and Sealaska Heritage Scholarship Program. And the video will give you some information on how broad the programming of scholarships has gotten beyond just the Sealaska scholarship. So please make note of all the additional opportunities. And please share this information. We know not everybody's able to make a noon Zoom session, so we will share these recorded opportunities. The note at the beginning, or the screen at the beginning, indicated that we'll have another session next week on the 26th. If you know of anybody who's a student, again, an adult learner, someone interested in kicking off their career, please share these opportunities with them. And Gunak Sheesh for joining us today. We'll start now with the scholarship video. I hope you enjoy the time we have with you today. Gunak Sheesh.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Carmelita Estrada, and I'm the Operations Officer at Sealaska Heritage Institute. I also serve as the Scholarship Administrator. Sealaska Heritage offers a variety of scholarship and internship opportunities to support you in your educational and career goals. So today I'll briefly go over what these opportunities are, how to qualify for them, and how you can access and benefit from them. First, we have our largest scholarship program, which is the Sealaska Scholarship. And this program is funded by Sealaska Corporation, but administered by us at Sealaska Heritage Institute. This year, we're funding 415 students through this program. And these students range from freshmen to PhD to voc tech students, attending institutions all over the world, some at full-time status, some at part-time status, and majoring in unlimited fields of studies. So it really is open to anyone pursuing higher education, regardless of where you are or what pace you're going at. To qualify for the program, one must be Alaska Native, one must be enrolled in an accredited college or vocational school, you must be a shareholder of Sealaska or a descendant of a shareholder. A common misconception is that the student must be a shareholder themselves, but that's not the case. As long as one's parent, grandparent, great-grandparent is a shareholder, then the student would qualify. And lastly, the student must have a 2.0 overall GPA from their most recently attended school. The amount of the awards vary each year and depend on multiple factors, including the number of students who are awarded and the performance of the scholarship endowment. However, we are proud to note that despite a consistent growing number of students, awarded students, our scholarship awards have continued to increase steadily over the last 8 years. This year, individual awards can range up to $3,900 per student. The scholarship application is currently open. It's open each year from December 15th to March 1st. You must apply each year to continue your funding. The application is entirely online, and you can access it through your MySealaska account at mysealaska.com. If the student doesn't have a MySealaska account, they'll need to create one to access the scholarship. And note that you do not need to be a shareholder to have your own MySealaska account. So be sure the student uses their own and not their parents' account. And once you log into your MySealaska account, you'll see the Opportunities tab up top. And when you click that, you'll see a location for the scholarship application, and that will take you directly to our scholarship application portal. Next, we have our Judson Brown Scholarship. So in addition to the Sealaska Scholarship, we have the Judson Brown Leadership Award. And this program aims to support students showing leadership qualities within their community. The scholarship endowment was established by Mary and Chris McNeil in 2006 in honor of Chris's uncle, Judson Brown. It awards an additional $5,000 to one student per year. The application is by invitation only. So one must apply for the general Sealaska scholarship program that I just went over in order to be considered for this one. And from there, we select a handful of the highest scoring students to apply, and ultimately one student is selected for this award. Next, we have the Ruth Demert Language Scholarship. And this scholarship was established in 2018 at SHI's Language Summit at the urging of many speakers who attended. And it's very similar to the Judson Brown Award. It is by invitation only for those who apply for the general Sealaska scholarship. And students who are majoring in linguistics or indigenous languages receive the invitation to apply. And this is also an additional $5,000 award on top of one's Sealaska Scholarship Award. Next, we have our PETAS program, which is preparing Indigenous teachers and administrators for Alaska schools. Alaska Native students make up 25% of the student body in Alaska, but less than 5% of the teaching force. So our PETAS program aims to address that by supporting Alaska Native students interested in those fields. And this program is administered by Sealaska Heritage Institute in partnership with University of Alaska Southeast. The goal is to support Alaska Native students pursuing a career in the teaching field or school administrative field, like a superintendent certification. And here you see a list of the variety of fields one can major in to qualify for this program. To qualify as a PETAS student, one must be of junior level standing or higher with at least a 3.0 GPA. You must also be Alaska Native living in the state of Alaska. And that's a qualification that comes from the Department of Education that funds this program. And it is a rolling deadline for this, so you can apply at any time. The program covers 100% of tuition and fees. It also includes a book stipend, and if you are enrolled at full-time status, it includes an additional $3,000 housing stipend per term. The application process is administered by UAS, and you can contact them directly at uas.petas@alaska.edu for more information, or you can use the link in the chat box to access the application directly. Next is a second scholarship opportunity under the same PETAS program, but this is geared towards freshman and sophomore level students, or those who have taken less than 60 credits from the University of Alaska. And these students are eligible to apply, even if they haven't declared a major, even if you don't know if the teaching field is something you want to go into yet. The goal of this scholarship is to build interest in either the education, language, or culturally relevant fields. And this program would cover your tuition to take any qualified course. You can see a list of those courses here for the spring term. And they do, the courses update each term depending on the courses the university offers. But basically any language or culturally relevant course offered by UAS. It covers 100% of your tuition and fee expenses and also provides a book stipend. Unfortunately, the deadline to enroll in classes at UAS for the spring has passed, but you could plan ahead to apply for the upcoming summer or fall terms. But if you are actually already enrolled in one of these courses that are listed here, you can still reach out to us to apply for this scholarship opportunity. It is not too late. And if you want to learn more about the PETAS program or how to apply for this tuition waiver, we have a link in the chat box that will take you to our PETAS homepage. Again, you can contact the PETAS office directly at uas.petas@alaska.edu. The PETAS program is administered by UAS, although funded by us at SHI, so your applications do go through them. And I'm including my contact information here as well. Again, always feel free to reach out to us if you need assistance or have questions about any of the programs I've mentioned today. And we do have a couple more opportunities here at SHI to go over with you. I'm going to hand it off to Kari. Kari is our art department director, and she'll give you an overview of those programs. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kari Gruven. I am the art director of the Sealaska Heritage Institute, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about the Sealaska Heritage Alaska Native Art and Museum Scholarships and Internships. So the Arts and Museum Scholarships are available twice a year. Applications are due July 15 for the fall semester, December 15 for the spring semester, and the awards range between $1,000 and $5,000. To qualify for these scholarships, you have to be a full-time student residing in the US. Undergraduates have to have a cumulative GPA of at least 2.0. Graduate students have a cumulative GPA of at least 3.0. They have to attend an eligible program, and it's good to know that preference is given to Alaska Native students. Art scholarships are only available to University of Alaska Southeast students and students of Institute of American Indian Arts. So students that are taking Northwest Coast Arts courses at UAS, or students that are pursuing arts and science degrees with a focus in studio arts, performing arts, cinematic arts and technology, or creative writing at IAIA, and who incorporate Northwest Coast Art Studies in their degree. Museum scholarships are available to museum study students. So students who are pursuing a degree with a concentration in museum studies, preferably including a focus in one or more of the following areas: collections management, exhibit design, exhibit fabrication, and conservation. So here are a list of the eligible programs. Most of them are at UAS or IAIA, but you'll see museum studies can be anywhere in the US, really. Contact person for scholarships information is Jay Zeller. Her email is j.zeller@sealaska.com. Applications are posted on www.sealaskaheritage.org in June and November. Applications for the Sealaska Heritage Alaska Native Arts and Museum internships are due this January 31st, 2022. So apply now. To qualify for both the arts and museum internships, you have to be a full-time student residing in the US. You have to have a cumulative GPA of at least 2.5, completed 2 years of college, be fully vaccinated because this is in person. And preference is given to Alaska Native students at UAS and IAI. Interns work in person as full-time seasonal employees of SHI. Hourly pay rate is $26 an hour. And SHI covers airfare to and from the internship location. Art internships are for students who are pursuing an arts and science degree, and preferably with a focus on Northwest Coast arts or Alaska Native arts through studio arts, performing arts, and technology or creative writing. This is a 9-week internship in Juneau, Alaska, the summer of 2022. Activities include preparing and implementing in-person and online arts events and activities such as SHI's Northwest Coast Arts Workshops. Interns support online and or in-person summer camps for youth such as SHI's Let's See Northwest Coast Arts Academy. Interns participate as a SHI artist in resident, focusing on developing skills in a Northwest Coast art form. And they just provide general assistance to the art department team. Museum interns, internships, they are for students who are majoring in museum studies or related field. Preference will be given to applicants who have a focus on Northwest Coast arts, again, Alaska Native arts, and who have concentrations in one or more of the following: collections care, exhibit design, exhibit fabrication, and conservation. There are 2 museum internships this summer. There's a 6-week internship in Juneau, Alaska, and another 6-week internship at Museum of Contemporary Native Arts, or MOCNA, in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The Juneau internship runs May through June or mid-June. They work with the Sealaska Heritage Collection of Northwest Coast objects, assist with museum exhibit preparation, and they work alongside SHI staff as they prepare and host Celebration 2022. Santa Fe internship runs June through July, and they work with, interns work with the MOCNA team to develop a collections-based project. So to learn more about this, contact myself, Kari Grubin at sealaska.com. Applications are currently posted at sealaskaheritage.org. And if you have any further questions about anything that I talked about today, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to hear from you.
Hello, thank you for joining us today. And I absolutely encourage everyone who is a student currently to apply to those different scholarships that SHI has posted for you. I am Kayla. I'm going to be talking about our intern program. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. It's really wonderful to be here. My name is Halimia Mianim in Tsimshian, and I manage and run the Sealaska intern program. I actually interned with Sealaska in 2017, and it's been my joy and privilege to be able to manage the program since 2019. So why internships? There's so many wonderful things that can come from interning, and really the main purpose of an internship is to be a learning opportunity for students and to gain a job preview for the career that you're interested in. The other thing this program really strives to do is to support our students' goals. So if you end up with this internship or any internship you go into, I encourage you to think of some goals that you have in mind and What are you hoping to learn? Are you hoping to learn better time management or work as a team or get a preview of the career you're interested in, or decide, is this a field I want to go into, and discuss those goals. That's really, really important to let those know who you're working with, what your goals are and how they can help you achieve them. And I think the best part of this intern program that we have is that we foster community among Alaska Native peers. So all of our interns are Tlingit, Haida, or Tsimshian. They are descendant from Sealaska shareholders, or they are Sealaska shareholders themselves. And it's just a really wonderful community that comes together each summer to learn from each other and experience their different cultures together. So the basics of our summer intern program, it runs from mid-June to late August. And the reason for that is we want all quarter and semester students to be able to participate in the program at the same time. So we're just very interested in fostering this cohort community. Everyone starts around the same time, and they're able to work together on different projects and get to know each other, even if they're at different locations or across the country or different schools. Like I said, the internship is for Sealaska shareholders, their descendants, or their spouses. And you must be currently enrolled in a post-secondary education or have recently graduated. So internships are really to enhance your learning that you're experiencing in school and provide the career experience on top of that learning. Our application for our internships closes on Monday. So exactly what SHI folks were just talking about, please apply early and apply now, because those applications will close on Monday, January 24th of this year. We ask that you provide a resume and upload a resume to your application. And after you submit your application, I will reach out to you and ask for an unofficial transcript and any other materials that the manager has asked or requested. So sometimes that's a cover letter, sometimes that's a writing sample or a lab sample. So just read the job description that you're interested in and see if what other materials you might need to have ready. But for the official or for the application, we request a resume. All of our internships are paid opportunities and they are full-time. So they're 40 hours a week. Monday through Friday. Also, our interns participate in research projects and career development opportunities and workshops. So we're really interested in helping our interns achieve their career goals and give them practical skills. We also do cultural activities. There's been language classes that we've had our interns experience together. They might do an art workshop or a weaving workshop. So we just find it really important to come together as a community and experience those things. And you can find all of our opportunities. I think there's around 24 separate opportunities that are posted on our website at sealaska.com/careers. And then if you scroll to the bottom of that page, summer internships will pop up. So we have lots of different types of internships. Like I said, we have about 24 different opportunities this summer. So I'm just going to run through the various opportunities we have across Sealaska and its partners. So we have culture and community kind of as one subhead. These are for students who are interested in working with our nonprofits and tribal partners. So if you're interested in social work or Indigenous studies, education, museum studies, anthropology, these are the kinds of majors or interests that you might have, and these internships would be great for you. New this year, we have internships with Tlingit and Haida, which we're so excited and thrilled about. So if you're interested in working with the tribe, definitely check out their opportunities. And then we also have opportunities with Sustainable Southeast Partnership and Sealaska Heritage Institute, along with the ones that they talked about today. We also have science and natural resources internships. So if you are in environmental sciences, land management and restoration, environmental policy, biology, these are all majors that we are looking for those different opportunities with our teams. Also, we have several business opportunities. So if you are interested in finance, accounting, human resources, legal, communications, and marketing, many opportunities across our businesses and mainly at Sealaska Corporate and our financial partners. You can apply to those ones if that's your area of study. As well, we have engineering and technology. So our opportunities there are mainly around civil engineering. We have one opportunity with helping construct dams on native lands, on BIA lands, and structural civil engineering. So if you're interested in either of those fields, we have learning opportunities for you. We also have construction and computer science, and especially around GIS or geographical information systems. So if any of those appeal to you, definitely reach out. So I'm going to play this short little video. It's about 90 seconds from one of our intern alum who interned with us in 2020 and 2021. And I also encourage you to check out Sealaska's Instagram. We have all kinds of testimonials and little videos from our various interns in the last few years that share their experience. So let's hear from Kayla.
Hi all, thank you for having me. My name is Saith Tin. My English name is Kayla. I am Tlingit Eagle Killer Whale from Juneau, Alaska. I am currently a senior at Western Washington University, and I am majoring in environmental policy and minoring in American Indian Studies, and I am graduating this spring. In the summer of 2020, I interned with Sealaska as an archives intern for SHI, and last summer I had the honor of interning as the account management intern for Barnacle Foods. Both internships were so incredible, I can't even begin to explain them. I initially started my internship with Sealaska because I wanted to gain a better understanding about the history and culture of Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian people. And then last summer I interned with Barnacle Foods. It dealt more with my degree. I was able to go on the boat and examine the kelp beds surrounding Southeast Alaska and help Barnacle Foods create a sustainable, equitable harvest plan. Overall, I couldn't be more thankful for my internships with Sealaska. I have made so many great connections, and I feel more driven than ever to return to Juneau after I graduate to continue working within my community and helping create plans of sustainability. Thanks for watching.
Awesome. So Kayla has been able to apply her degree, she's an environmental studies major, to a kelp management plan, and she's also internship with Barnacle, and she also was able to do an internship with SHI because of her Indigenous studies background. So lots of different opportunities here to explore, and just depends on what you're looking for as a student. So last thing I wanted to leave you with, whether you're interested in applying to the intern program or you know someone who is, I wanted to leave you with a few interview tips, because that can be, I don't know, for me, it's the most intimidating part of applying to a job or an internship. So I just wanted to tell you what I'm looking for as a recruiter. Basically, what I'm looking for is I want you to talk about what your experience is and what you've learned from the different things that you've done. And every single job, every single volunteer opportunity or class you've taken absolutely can be applied to an internship or a job that you're applying to. So it's just about, if you talk about what you took away from that experience, we can see as a recruiter, you know, the list of your accomplishments, and what I'm looking for you to do is to fill in the gaps and tell me what you took away and what you learned, and how you grew when you took that class or gained that different job experience. Maybe it was time management, maybe it was dealing with a difficult person, maybe it was gaining responsibility. Any of those things absolutely apply. Whether you feel like, you know, working at a coffee shop applies to the internship you're interested in, it absolutely does, because you've learned something in that experience that can apply to the job you're looking for. I also am hoping that you will highlight to me how this internship opportunity will help you on your education or career path. This whole program is designed to give you that next step or give you some experience in what you're interested in. So express what you're looking for. I'm looking for students who express how they can reach their goals or what their next goal is. You don't need to know what your dream job is or where you hope to end up necessarily. It's just, what are you hoping to learn, and how are you going to apply that in taking the next step in your career? And I just emphasize again that internships are a learning opportunity first. So we hope that you come here ready to learn, and contribute in any way that you can. And I know that your contributions are just going to be outstanding and wonderful. So I encourage you to reach out and keep in touch. You can email intern@sealaska.com. That's kind of the main email that goes to everybody in our team. And I'm Kayla Roberts. Again, kayla.roberts@sealaska.com. You can reach out to me. I hope to see your application, and definitely reach out if you have any questions. Again, the deadline is Monday, the 24th. And Doik Shisham for listening.
Goodness, sheesh, Kayla.Roberts. Just a couple years ago, an intern, and now she's here running the show. I just want to thank you on behalf of the company here. So appreciate you just, running with this thing. And it's been exciting as a board member to see the internship program continue to grow and expand. So really appreciate your work there. My name is Joe. Folks know me, I think. I'm chairman and streaming from Occoquan today. Hopefully everybody's being safe. We're still in the thick of this pandemic, but we've got work to do, obviously. And this here is one of the most exciting pieces of work for some of us. And it's our next generation is something that really sets us apart as a Native corporation, a Native company. That this is always front and center for all of our Native our ANCs. I'm really just going to do the setup on our third program we're going to highlight. We covered scholarships, and that's been an awesome partnership that's been going for the last 40 years with Sealaska Heritage and our internship program. It's been going almost as long, something that's a little newer, a little more recent, but it's more than a decade old. It's our Board Youth Advisor program. And, we really need to change the name or think about changing the name. It's called the Board Youth Advisor program, but by definition, everybody that's filled out this role and applied and served a term on the board, that they're all 18 and up. So right now it's 18 to 24. And in my mind, that's not really a youth position. So somebody remind me, or somebody go ahead and figure out how to change that name. I'm going to quickly acknowledge we're on our 13th, I believe, right now, Board Youth Advisor. It all started 13 years ago with Megan Gregory, and then Waflagidoc, Barbara Blake. She's going to speak in just a moment here. And then Ralph Wolf, Maddie Sobeloff, Alicia Guthrie, Alyssa London, Barbara Dude, David Russell Jensen, Nicole George, Aiden Helen, Maka Manchur, Michaela Demert, and this year we have Teodola Silva serving as the Board Youth Advisor. And I am gonna pretty quickly for this part just kick it over to an invite to the Zoom screen of Lagidoc, Barbara Blake. She is a current board member, but just some years ago, she was one of our first Board Youth Advisors, and I'll leave it to Waflagidoc to share some reflections and maybe some details about the program. And then I'll bounce back in to introduce our next segment as well. So goodness, Chish, Pawa, good to see you. Waflagidoc, thanks for doing what you do.
Goodness, Chish, Kakoku, and Hawa to everyone who's already presented so many amazing opportunities that Sealaska Corporation offers. I'm a recipient of the scholarship. I was also a former intern, and as Kahoku Joe just mentioned, I was a former board youth advisor. Wafal Girak Hinudi Kiang, Barbara Blake Yaatsitai Hinudi Kiang. My name is Wafal Girak. My English name is Barbara Blake, calling in today from Zantakahini, otherwise known as Juneau. excited to present and to be able to share about the Youth Board Advisor program. It's an amazing opportunity. And if you are between the ages of 18 to 25, because of course we have to have an age range in there, then I suggest you apply. It's always worth the experience. Deadline is March 25th for applications into this program. And if you're curious how to get there, right, you log into My Sealaska. There's a little tab at the top of the bar that says opportunities. And if you click on that, it will, over to the left-hand column, there's various different opportunities. And one of them says Board Youth Advisor. And that's the one you want to click on to get to the application process. But I'll really quickly describe a little bit about what you need in order to get in, eligibility, and then I'll talk about the experience that I had. But qualifications, you have to be active in our Native community. It's really important that we're uplifting those voices who are already in service to our people as contributors and working in and amongst our community, that you're engaged in cultural activities, that you know who you are as a Haudenosaunee or a Tsimshian person, that all of that plays into who you are and the formation and foundation of who you are as an individual, that you have some work experience. Doesn't have to be extensive. Of course, the age range is 18 to 25. So 2 years of work experience, 2 years of some kind of college, whatever that might look like, or comparable experience. And that you're conducting yourself in a good manner that upholds the standard of our clan system and of who we are as Indigenous people. One of the other requirements is that you hold Class A, B, or C settlement stock, or Class D descendant life estate stock. So those ones are important. So what you're gonna do when you go into this, and the requirements of the application are a personal history and education, just talking about yourself, which we know is hard. As Native people, this is not one of our values. I was talking to, or we got word from Nani Dolores Churchill that even in our Haudenosaunee, that I would never actually introduce myself. If the opposite clan was standing in the room with me, they would introduce me. And so, talking about ourselves in first person is always really difficult. And I'll just give you a tip that I've learned throughout my history, is that it was always really helpful for me to talk about the accomplishments that I was a part of. So we never do anything alone. We're always a member of a team or a group, an organization, or a few other people who are helping to achieve something. Talk about that experience, because that helps us to not feel like we're bragging about who we are as individuals, but talking about the collective means to get to a project, or to complete a project, or to complete a goal, and the contributions that you've made in that space as a part of a collective. That's always been a helpful hint for me whenever I go to try and talk about myself. It's always challenging. So there's a B, an SAB, and that's expected contribution to the Alaska Native community or to Native American community at large, and kind of what your goal is. What do you plan to do in terms of helping our community and uplift our community in your future? We need 3 letters of recommendation, a resume, and then your shareholder identification card. And so those are all of the aspects of what is required and the technical components there. I'll say that this experience was pretty life-changing in everything that I've experienced with Sealaska Corporation. My internship sent me on a different trajectory for life. My internship through Sealaska Corporation allowed me to do things that I never would have thought I could achieve, but it put me in a space where I was being uplifted by other leaders and by people in our community, to give me that reassurance that what I had to contribute was important. As a Native voice in any space, our voices are so important. And it just reassured me that voice was important in all spaces, and really gave me the opportunity to feel like I was empowered or had the qualifications to even sit at the board. I'll tell you that as a youth board advisor, it was pretty intimidating. I mean, the folks who are sitting at the board table have been leaders throughout every strife we've ever had as Native people, including land claims and the contributions that they had made as Native leaders, not just in Sealaska Corporation, but throughout our entire state and beyond. We're so, I don't want to say I put them on a pedestal, but we look up to our leaders. You know, they guide us through so many things, and everybody sitting at that table were individuals that I looked up to. But I'll tell you that they always asked my perspective, that they made me feel like I was a contributing voice to those spaces, and helped me see that even though I was a young leader, as I've been described, or a young contributor, as I like to describe, that my voice was also important, that our worldviews were different just for the simple fact that I was born in a different generation. And the voice that we're bringing as youth board advisors meant a lot, because we were bringing a perspective that wasn't sitting at the board yet. And it launched me in a direction of really feeling connected to our corporation, to the leadership who sat at that table with me, or that I sat at the table with, I should rephrase that, and really helped me identify a path for what I thought was important in my goals and in my life. So I'll say that the youth board advisor position is really exciting. Maybe not as exciting in times of COVID, because we're doing everything on Zoom, even this conversation right now. And I'll apologize for that. But even just having the opportunity right now, we have Teodola Silva as our youth board advisor, and an amazing young lady who I've had the privilege to get to know. And it just so happens that she lives in Juneau, so even better for me. So we get the opportunity to go have coffee, go have lunch together, and really get to know each other a little more. And man, talk about a powerhouse just in what she's going to be doing and what she's already done in her short time as a professional. It's exciting to know each other and to see what we can accomplish, and what our future holds. So I hope you will consider applying if you're between that age range and you've thought about it, and maybe you're like, I don't know if I'm at that level. You are. I promise you. You have what it takes to sit at that board, and we need your voice. We need the voices of our young up and coming leaders, or our young leaders who are already contributing in many spaces, to help us shape from a place that we may have never thought of, and to maybe take a conversation in a completely different direction if we haven't considered some other perspective or other point of view. And so I hope you'll consider applying. It changed my trajectory, gave me the feeling that maybe I could run for the board, and sure enough, I did. And here I sit as a board member now. So Gunesh Chish, how Noikshishin for the opportunity to present some information about this program, Joe.
Oh, Waflagidoc. Get chills just listening to Waflagidoc Barbara Blake, and it's partly because I'm aware of all the good work she's doing on the board. She's at the table now, but then just in general with life and service, and she didn't mention here, but she's sitting City and Borough of Juneau Assembly member. So if you need to get in touch with our City and Borough of Juneau, just reach out to Barbara Blake or Fagidoc. Go to Sheesh for that. Quick other follow-up, just comment on the bigger scheme here and these programs. Then I'm going to introduce a video. And, you know, I've spent pretty much most of my adult life working in higher ed, and just in this place, this transition, the Western world thinks of as a transition into like adulthood and mainstream, and people go off to college to figure out who they are. And, you know, they're just missing the boat in a lot of ways by waiting that long to figure out who they are. And that's where we really are focusing our efforts and energies a little deeper and a little more and connecting a lot more deeply, I think, as a company these last few years. And we have this competitive advantage. We're not striving and looking for a sense of purpose as individuals as much as the rest of the Western world really are doing. If we're in touch, if we're connected to our values, then we're connected to our people, our communities, our history, and we're bringing a competitive advantage because we know who we are already as individual contributors. We don't exist absent of the whole with your families, your clans, your communities. So it really is a competitive advantage that we have being a native entity here, and that advantage is held with you. All of you who are of the age that are ready to go to the next level and take things over. And we're not making this investment just to so that individuals can enter the workforce and successfully enter the Western world. But we're doing this to help transform the world, and the world really needs all of us now, digging deep and understanding who we are as Indigenous people. The whole planet is even telling us that very loudly, that the Western world needs to slow down and start thinking about this planet we live on a little more thoughtfully. And who better to go to than our ancestors and our ancient knowledge and our history. We're the only regional corporation with one of these board youth advisor positions, so please do consider applying or sharing with your cousins, nieces, and nephews the opportunity. It truly is a position that I know all the board members that have been on the board with these board youth advisors really value. So gonna sheesh. Coming up next, we have a video, and this video comes out of AFN convention, the Alaska Federation of Natives. We didn't do the whole video there, but we had one of our own, and we feel like we're one of hers. Ruth Demert receiving one of the AFN President's Awards. And I don't even know if I've seen this entire video yet myself, but I believe we have a video of Ruth Demert from Kikwan, and just really want to wrap our arms around, that community, and especially our precious elders, including Ruth, who a lot of us know personally, and really are anxious to get out of this pandemic so we can get back to more of our normal life of coming back together and embracing our elders. As you know, that is where our education system really rests, is with our elders. So please go ahead and turn your attention to the short video, and then I'll do a quick final transition to to Tesla after the video.
I grew up speaking Tlingit. It just came natural to me. There's hardly anyone to speak Tlingit with anymore, my age. Yeah, so I'm forgetting a lot of it now. Grandma used to say, Ade kawat, akati sakwati, wasa idayaka. She said, you'll come to the age where you'll realize and hear the things I'm telling you now, and you'll think back on it. And you'll do the right things. When I realized just how precious our language and our traditions were, I would go down by Cochise, Johnny C. Jackson. I would take him food, soft foods that he could eat, and record him for the songs. I would get information from mothers how to do regalia. I don't even know if I was teaching them right, but we were doing it anyway. From there, I taught the kids the songs. We worked on the sheets. We put their crests on it with markers and took off from there. Our traditions were starting back up again, full force. We learned the rough way. It was from scratch, but we did it. Community always was there to support They know all the songs now. They do really well. All the dancers. I know there aren't enough of us left now, you know. Like now I say I hardly have anybody to talk to. The younger people need to really get into the language. From there they learn just how precious the language is, and it just doesn't involve language. It involves learning about yourself and others. Goed at je Akakishi Kakite. If you lose something and you go back and look for it, you will find it. Our language, our culture, our way of life, the respect for the land, respect for yourself, respect for others. It involves all those. But the young people, don't give up. Don't give up. You're here for a reason. You have a gift. Gift of speech. A gift to teach. If you know who you are, know your background, know your history, gives you more pride, makes you think more of yourself, makes you think more of your family, so you're willing to do more for yourself and for others. Each person is on their own journey, and it's up to them to learn more about themselves. Sealaska, I thank you so very much. You opened up the box that our ancestors left us for a lot of people, a lot of young people now, and people that will hear them through their voices. Just like that song goes. Zu hede shigochte tang. Ja, kosketa-kit. Hachi kasajiwanak. Sealaska, I feel, has opened up this box. From there, it started growing.
Ruth received the AFN President's Award. That's in the category, it's called the Dr. Walter Sobeloff Warrior of Light Award at our most recent AFN convention. And just thrilled, to continue to have Dr. Sobeloff's name live on through these awards, and really appreciate Ruth and her work and the community there. And that is an opportunity through our language fund for just another opportunity for people to look into and learn about and take advantage of. To close us out today, I'm going to invite to our Zoom to wrap this one up, and with much appreciation and gratitude for her energy and the light she brings to Sealaska. That's Tesla Cox. She's came on board, I feel like it was pre-pandemic, but it might have been in the pandemic or during the pandemic. So it's bizarre to just kind of know each other. We know each other, but I mean, to only visit virtually is getting to be all too normal. So Tesla, though, is heading up our shareholder development programs, among many other things, and want to thank you for coordinating this and I'll let you wind this one down and set up the next one. I know we have another one coming, I think, next week. So thank you. Sheesh.
Joe. I am Tessa Cox. My Tlingit name is Kale Teen. I am Raven Deshitan. My family comes from Yale Hit, the Raven House of Yangon. And I am the Director of Shareholder Development at Sealaska. I joined Sealaska last November, and I'm really happy to be here and working with a great team. And all of our focus is on bringing more opportunities to our shareholders and education, workforce development, and more opportunities to our communities. So this was our first event of the year. We have another one next Wednesday. It'll be at the same time over lunch. And this one is focused more on workforce development, marine activities. We will have, we're going to have a training on February 17th and 18th, training shareholders to become protected species observers that work on marine construction sites. So join us for that one. We'll have the same door prizes. The door prizes are available by filling out the survey that's been shared in the comments. I'll have everyone share that again right now. So fill that out with your information, and we will randomly select our door prize winners, and we will post those on Facebook later today. What else? So we also, just some other reminders, our internship application closes on Monday. If you know anyone, when I did my internship, my auntie found me and she pulled me in and told me I had to go in and do this internship. So find your nieces, find your nephews, bring them in and bring them to us. We have on March 1st is a scholarship application deadline, and March 25th is the deadline for the Fourth Youth Advisor application. And if you go on mysealaska.com/opportunities, we have listed out there all of this information, all of the dates, and that's where you can find the link to the next webinar next week. You can also view it on Facebook Live. So check us out on Facebook, make sure you're following us for updates and stay up to date on our news. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for being here today. Keep an eye out for those door prize winners, and hopefully I see you the same time next week. Have a good day. Bye.